All right, guys, you heard it here first. Do not get married. If you do, sign yourself a prenup. And if you want to date Susie, let me know, and I'm gonna pass her along your number. And in the meantime, we'll just go out and do some fun things that are definitely gonna get both of us laid. I need to get laid also. Let's do this.
Lots of sex.
This is Sexy Funny Raw, where we talk all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships to the adult industry itself, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sylvia Sage. Welcome back to another episode of Sexy Funny Raw. I am your host, Sylvia Sage, and joined in studio with me today is my very good friend and fellow comedian, Susie Sitcom. Susie, say hello to the people.
Hi! Happy New Year!
Yes, Happy New Year to everybody. Did you have a good New Year's?
I did. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit nervous being here.
Be. Yeah.
I'm very excited to be here with you.
Yes.
You guys, Sexy Funny Raw. I'm never invited to anything sexy. Like, this is a big deal. I'm trying to be sexy, at least from the waist up.
You are sexy. From the waist and down and up and all of the things. Yeah.
Let's cover.
Only the sexy allowed.
Yeah, that's what we do here. We only book sexy guests. That's the rule.
All right.
So,
cheers to sexy.
Oh, cheers to that. Absolutely.
Yay!
Delicious water, that is. With a sting. So we have a very interesting episode because Susie, for one, comes from a different background than myself, obviously. You were married for several years. How long were you married?
So I was married legally for 18 years.
Okay.
I was with my ex for 23 years.
So basically your adult life.
My entire adult life.
Yeah.
I've been with one man.
But you were recently divorced.
I'm recently divorced.
And so
hallelujah!
We want to talk about getting you back on a healthy sex train in your singlehood, you know?
Yes.
So that's what we're going to do today. But we're going to ask you some questions because I need to know a little bit more about what we're missing here. So you guys did have kids together, right? So there was sex.
Yes.
Some sex happened enough to create children.
Before we get started, can I just give you a little New Year's gift and then we'll move this out of the way?
Oh, okay. Let me get a gift first. Okay.
I want to say Happy New Year's. I hate going anywhere empty-handed. So
You're
just a little
so
something.
sweet.
So you know, future guests.
I'm also
don't come empty-handed.
No.
It's rude.
Okay, so it's some SPF baby oil. Okay, I feel like
cute?
I feel like I need this in my life because as pasty and as pale as I am right now, I just need to lather myself up in this and just go sit outside for the next hour and bake myself.
I mean, look at how cute. It was like
It's
very
adorable.
like retro looking.
I thought it was lube for a second.
I know, that's what
I'm not going to put this in my nightstand because Lord knows I'll be reaching for something and just throw on some baby oil. I don't know. That might not be a bad thing.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah, it's adorable.
He was like, I just saw it. I was like, oh
It's
my
so
God,
cute.
this is so cute. I wanted to get you a little something.
I love it.
And I'm like, oh, look, it's like so like retro.
It
but
is.
it smell it. It smells so nice.
Oh, okay.
Does it smell like baby oil?
Yeah, it smells like baby oil.
Oh, I love that.
Do you love the smell of baby oil?
I do. I love
I can't smell it.
Oh.
It's so funny when you said that. While we were in Michigan, his mom has this like lotion for kids, and Mark would come out of the shower and like have it lathered up. And I'm like, oh my God, you smell like a baby. I loved it.
It weirdly turns you on. You're like,
just
that's
like
the
the
smell
smell.
I'm into.
It's weird. No, I don't like babies, but I love the smell.
Yeah. Maybe it just like gets your hormones going because you're
I
like
think it
wanting a baby
is.
maybe. And you're like, I could make a baby with this baby
Yeah, we'll
smell.
go with that.
Yeah.
Something you're used to. Something
Yeah.
you're
So
used
funny.
to.
Well,
Okay.
speaking of babies,
get
how
this out of
many
the way.
babies did you make with this man?
I made 2 babies with my husband.
2 beautiful babies.
2 beautiful girls.
Yeah.
And I love them so much. But that's been the hardest part
Yeah.
for dating. So actually, I'm a little
Oh, yeah.
nervous because, okay, so I talked to Sylvia about this before. We were going to come here and I had questions ready because I'm like, okay, 2024, she's going
Yeah.
to teach me how to get sexy and get back out there and date. Literally minutes before I was coming out, minutes, like an hour, like I was like getting ready my questions.
Yeah.
My kids were like they were in my bedroom and they were like, Mom. And they were like laughing and screaming and jumping on my bed. They found my sex toys.
Oh, no.
They found a rose. So that's why I'm nervous.
Oh.
For New Year's, I got myself
A new toy.
new toy.
Yeah.
It's very loud. I'm very loud. Your neighbors know it now. The building knows it now. But yes, I got myself a new toy, the rose that everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
Right? And literally,
I've seen it on Instagram. Yeah.
they just found it. I mean, they
have
just
you even
found
used it yet?
Yes, I have used it.
Okay.
I
Hope you
used
cleaned it
once.
before they found it.
I know.
They're just picking up your used toy covered in cum. Mom, what is it?
It was so. You know what my daughter said to me? First of all, I was humiliated. Okay, and I don't think I ever blushed.
Did they know what it was?
Yeah, because they're old
Okay,
enough.
okay.
They're teenagers now. So my daughter's like, she was so okay. My younger one was like, ha ha ha, she got a rose, and my older one's like, she threw it down. She goes, it was $54.99. I asked you to buy a shirt at Free People, and it was $50, and you said it was too much money, but you wasted it on the rose.
Wasted. That rose will give her so much more pleasure than that shirt will ever give you, sweetheart.
I know, but can you believe that was the only thing she was concerned about?
She wanted that shirt.
Yeah, she wanted that shirt. I'm like, no, it's too much
Also,
money.
I love that she knew the price
No,
of
the
it.
price was she didn't Google it. The
Okay.
price tag was, it was in the box. So it was like the rose was in the box.
Okay.
And my daughter's excuse was she was looking for socks. So there were no clean socks. So she decided to go through my drawers. I said, don't go through your mom's drawers if you don't want to know what's in there.
Yeah.
But then it kind of opened up like, well, you guys embarrassed the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So guess what? Now I'm going to embarrass the shit out of you. So what are the questions? Do you want to know what I use this for? Do you know where it goes? It gives me the opening to kind of
Talk about things.
talk about
Yeah.
sex. I mean,
Well, and you know what? You do want to actually address the issue of masturbation, especially with them. We were having a conversation last episode about masturbation, and like my other guest and Chai also had the same thing where they started masturbating with their hands. I never did. I started masturbating with a toy. So
Really?
I never knew like actual like manual stimulation for myself. But that's something that you like, I don't know how easy it is to talk to your actual child about masturbation, but at least to say that it's healthy, you know, that it's a normal thing that people do, like just the ease of the conversation, maybe not tell them how to use all the toys because that could get to a bit of an awkward conversation maybe.
yeah.
But I think just a simple fact of letting them know that it's normal and it's healthy and it's like something they should be doing to especially learn their own bodies. Masturbation is a huge key of like learning ourselves, you know?
so I don't think I ever masturbated before until I was
An adult?
Really?
Yeah, until I was like divorced.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't sexual until I started having sex.
Okay. Well,
You
that,
know what I mean? Until I started, after I had my boyfriend, I sucked. Then it was like, oh my God, what's this?
Is
I
your
want this all
husband the only
time.
man you ever slept with?
No.
Okay.
No, remember? My first is a big fan of yours.
Hello.
Oh my God. So yeah, my first, we joke around about this, but like I literally had not talked to him, seen him forever. And he found me on Instagram. Then I met Sylvia.
Yeah.
And then we were saying Sylvia, he was following Sylvia.
I like
and he's
connected
a big
you two
fan of
again.
Sylvia. So my very first boyfriend, who I lost my virginity, was a huge fan of Sylvia. And now that he found out we're friends,
He's back in your world.
he's like going crazy in the DMs. He's like going crazy. Ooh, the two of you together. I'm like, oh my God.
He's playing that fantasy out.
know,
Yeah.
dirty pervert.
Yeah. Do you feel like you had a healthy sex life with your husband?
You know, I don't see. Okay, so
You don't
here's
know
the thing.
what healthy would be
Right.
considered.
So
yeah.
that's the biggest thing.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to come here, because I grew up in the Midwest. I grew
Yeah.
up in Chicago. I did what
you're supposed to do.
supposed to do,
Yeah.
which I have these conversations with people all the time. I
Yeah.
went to college, got out, met the person, that I ended up marrying.
Yeah.
Got a career, bought my first place, and
Had
then
your kids, did
had
all the things.
Right, bought the house, had
Yeah.
the kids, did all the things in the right order, exactly the way I was supposed to do, and it blew up. And I'm like, you know what? I tell people, if this is the path that you want to follow, or you think you're following this path for somebody else, or this is the way you're supposed to do it, nobody knows your path.
Yeah.
Only God, and we've had conversations about that. Everybody spirituality is different, but my feeling is only you know the right path for you.
Of course. Yeah.
And, you know, that's why I'm here also supporting you, because I think it's bullshit that people would be like, oh, what you do is wrong. I'm like, how do you know what you do is wrong? Because I got divorced.
Yeah.
That's wrong. And a lot of people, right? Like, so, but you don't know what was good for me, right?
Exactly.
And I'll tell you, being married for 20 years was not good for me.
Yeah.
I just did it because I thought, okay, I'm in this and I should stay in it till I die. Like, this is what.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful it's done.
Do you feel like you were satisfied in that marriage, at least sexually? Obviously, you weren't satisfied on every level or the marriage would have lasted, right? But
yeah, well, you know, I think wanting something to last forever is a fallacy.
yeah.
You know, I think our marriage was good for 10 years, and I think we didn't have a good sex life in the beginning. And it really shocked me because I was young. We got married so young. I was in my 20s. I was hot. I was having sex and I was dating, and I was like, what the hell? I loved it. And he was not really that sexual.
Interesting.
But he treated me like a queen.
Oh, well, I love that.
He bought me flowers every week. He was really sweet to me. He was really nice. So he did things for me that no other guy.
Was he gay?
See, that's what
I'm like, this is very strange straight man behavior.
Okay, so I think he was addicted to porn.
Oh, okay.
So I was never sexy enough for him, or I was sexy, but I was, you're my wife, and this is what I want. Like, you're my wife.
Yeah.
But what I want to sleep with is this porn star.
I hear that kind of stuff all the time, actually, of like how especially when wives become mothers as well, as now they see you as a mother, as a caregiver, as a nurturer, and they don't see you sexually any longer. And it's such a weird place for moms to be, because you wouldn't be a mom if you hadn't had the sex. If you weren't the sexy person, you wouldn't be in this predicament.
Right. It's your fault, man. It's your fault.
So you've turned me into a mom and then taken my sexuality away. It's such a crazy thing, but I hear that from people all of the time. Men just put women into like one category or the other, and it's like, you know, they want to respect you or they want to fuck you, and they can't have that be the same person for them.
Which
you know,
is so crazy, because when you respect somebody, sex is mind blowing.
That's what you would think, and as a woman, we think that because women need more like emotional connection to have sex,
because it's inside,
you know?
right, versus outside. I think. Listen, if I was a guy, I'd be in trouble. I'd be like having sex with everything. I mean, I would like be.
I'm like a man, basically.
I would have sex with the ears. I think I would.
Some people do
sticking
that.
it everywhere. It's
I'd
probably
like,
a
really,
fetish.
I'd like try everything just because I'd be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, what's it feel like in here?
Yeah.
If I had a dick
so
for a day,
funny.
I'd put it in all sorts of things.
Right?
Let's be honest.
Wouldn't you be interested? Like, can I start my car with this? Like, start my car with it. If it was my dick, I probably could jump and start a car with it. Right?
I mean, you never know. Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's crazy, like, being a woman, having a strong sex drive, and then having somebody who really didn't.
Yeah.
So it was kind of messed up. We had sex every day.
That is.
Wait, I thought you said
I was like, wait. You said it was not a healthy sex like every day.
So the thing is, I have a very high sex drive, right?
Okay.
And so I wanted to have
Same
sex.
girl, same.
I
Love
know.
that. Okay.
Sex every day. Yeah. And I think that it's, I don't know, it's just kind of like, it was kind of built into my, like, I made it a part of my lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Like, we eat, we work out, we work, we have sex. Like, it's just part of the routine.
It's the routine. I love it.
Part of the routine.
It's 2 workouts a day. That sounds great.
Right. Well, I didn't consider it was like fun. You need something.
Yeah.
I think now that I'm single, I'm like, oh, I need the sex because I feel like it's almost like cardio.
Yeah, it is cardio.
Like a sex relief, our sex, like our stress reliever or whatever,
yes,
right?
It is. And it releases so many endorphins.
Yes.
People don't realize how healthy sex really is for our mental health, for our physical health, for our emotional health. Like, sex is so healthy when you're doing it correctly and, you know, with the partner.
When it's not violent.
Yes.
If it's not violent. I mean, even if it's someone you're not really close to, it's kind of like, well, a guy taught me once before my husband that there's nothing better for a hangover than an orgasm.
It's the truth. And I'm so horny when I'm hungover. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, please, someone come and fuck this out of me.
Yeah,
like,
no, really, it's the best thing for a hangover. New Year's tip. Yeah, best thing for a hangover.
I know, but I've been single for so goddamn long. It just doesn't happen. I feel like New Year's is for couples. I feel like New Year's is not a single person
New
day.
Year's is an excuse to just get sloppy.
It is that.
I
as
think
well.
I think New Year's is kind of like Halloween.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I get a free pass to be a slut for a
to be
day.
slutty and drunk.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's just like, you don't need that day to do it. Just
Yeah.
be slutty and drunk. Be
Yeah.
slutty and drunk.
Just be slutty,
I like to be slutty and drunk.
drunk.
You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, you don't. So I don't know. I don't think that people need excuses. I think that we're just so socialized. So
Of course.
it's kind of messed up, you know? And that's why I do comedy, because I feel like we can talk about all those terrible, like,
yeah.
stereotypes and all these things we are supposed to do, and I make fun of it. You know, I make fun of the way I'm supposed to be, the way the society is supposed to be, the way, you know, my daughter threw the rose at me today, and you know, I should have been horrified. I mean, I'm like, you can't tell this to people, right?
This is our secret. Meanwhile, you come on this show and are like, by the way.
But they're old enough, right? And it's like, thank God it wasn't sooner. I've heard stories about kids like pulling it out like as a wand, like a Star Wars one.
I found my mom's vibrator the same way your kid found yours. Just by the way,
Looking for socks,
looking for socks, or trying to steal like
something
from her drawer.
Yep.
And then finding like a satin little bag
Oh,
with
that's
the
it?
drawstring, and I was
Oh.
like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
Go inside,
What's
and I'm like,
the treasure in
I'm all
here?
like, "Oh,
I didn't even make it in the satin bag.
I
It's
love
on
that
the
you
box.
did a smell test. Oh my God. I mean, I found, of course, my parents, I was looking for money in my dad's drawer and found his like pornos and stuff like that. And I remember like, I didn't know this at the time because I was so young, but I come from a family of divorce. So, you know, you go one weekend with your mom, one weekend with your dad type of thing. And we came home early. My brother and I came home early from my dad's weekend or whatever, and my mom was masturbating with her bedroom door open with like a vibrator. And I walked in on it, not really knowing what was like happening because I was too young to know even what masturbation was. Yeah. But I remember thinking like, that's the back massager she keeps under the bed. Like what? I thought it was a back massager this whole time, and here she is just like hanging on for dear life. Like, you know, I'm like, okay, I just learned something. That is not a back massager.
Oh my God.
that's so funny."
Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure my brother and I used it as a back massager all the time.
That's what the kids say. They find it. They think, oh, it moves.
Yeah.
It's their parents' back massager.
Yeah, whatever,
Or
yeah.
someone said it was like, they thought it was like a head massager.
It's like, what else would you massage?
Lightsaver.
Well, like, what else is it for?
Yeah.
That's so.
I mean, because definitely as a little kid, you're not thinking masturbation. I mean,
Right.
at least I wasn't.
Right,
I
right.
lived in total fear of God growing up, so I didn't want God to see anything that I could have been doing.
See, so I didn't grow up with that.
Yeah.
My parents were like atheists.
Oh wow!
And I'm Korean, and so around me was very religious.
Yeah.
I have a Catholic nun, aunt who's a Catholic nun.
okay.
My grandmother was very religious. Wake up before everybody to pray, like read the Bible every morning.
Yeah.
But my parents grew up in Korea during the Korean War. My father was, and he lost his dad. My mom lost her dad. So they were like, fuck that. If there's a God, why would he let all
Take
this
our
bad stuff
parents.
happen? Right. Like, and just, my dad like lived through wars. Like he walked. So they did not believe in religion.
Yeah.
So for me, since it was around it was a choice to find it, you know? And that's why I was always curious. I'm like, why don't you share this with me, parents? Like, well, everybody else has this, you know? And then I grew up with some neighbors who were in the CCD and Catholic. And I'm like, I'm in this Jewish neighborhood. There's this huge Catholic church. I grew up on black TV. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very, like, different. And nobody's telling me who I am. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no representation.
Yeah.
right. Right. So I'm like, I have to learn. And so I went, like, tried to find God and what I was doing. And honestly, like, when I really started believing God is when I had kids. Because I'm like, how the hell does this come from?
Yeah.
That, like sperm. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I had
Yeah.
an alien growing inside me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how do you explain the alien? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So that's kind of how I came into God. It was just kind of like, well, I can't understand it as a human. I can't explain it, you know? So that was kind of the birth of my just believing that there has to be something bigger than us,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, but I never grew up with the,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Oh yeah.
you have to do this or that, you know? So
God was
organized
only
religion is,
God was only presented to me in a total fear tactic. So
which
yeah.
is terrible.
Yeah.
Which is awful. Like
Yeah.
I would hate everything. With
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's wrong.
Yeah, it was basically just don't do any of these things or else burn in a fiery pit of hell. You know? So-
Wow.
They're really
Yeah.
religious. Like, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
in the
I-
Midwest for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with that. So,
Okay, well, back to fun stuff because
Okay.
God is not my favorite topic.
yes.
So-
We've had a conversation about that too. We've had some really deep conversations, right?
Yeah. Okay, so how has single life been? Are you trying to date? Are you getting into dating apps? Are you letting people set you up? Are you doing any of
Set
that?
me up. Set me up. I'm available. I like teeth. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's my
They
only standard.
need to have teeth.
Yeah,
Got it.
my only standard.
Got it.
Actually, a comic tried setting me up, and he was like, "Hey, Susie, I've got some single friends. I'm a director. I do comedy." It's like, what are you into? Like, what are your standards? Standards? I get to have standards? I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
I'm
do,
divorced,
girl.
I have kids. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what's the only thing I guess a guy with teeth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Teeth. That's it.
Oh, he's gonna find you someone with teeth.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
You know that there are dating sites now that are just for parents, for like parents meeting other parents. So you, first off, you have that in common. So the kid thing isn't weird. And
Okay.
you can like, that's not even like a question of like, how do I bring this up to them? Like they already know you're a
Right.
parent, they're likely a parent, or, they have interest in dating somebody with kids or whatever. But maybe
Okay.
something like that would be
That sounds good. I'm like,
a
that sounds good.
good try.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do the Tinder. I feel like the Tinder has gone to the point of like hookup central, unless maybe you're just really trying to get off, And in that case, I think Tinder is the place to be. But I've seen this. I don't know the dating. I don't remember the name of the app, but I've
Okay.
definitely seen it. So
I'll look. I'll
Well,
look for
there's
it.
now like the option to say like if you have kids or not too.
yeah, on the
But
dating apps,
people I
yeah.
think are more prone to put like I don't want
yes.
people
Yeah.
with kids to show.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
something more specific.
But honestly, I feel like especially at our age,
Yeah.
most people have kids.
Yeah, it's
you know,
totally okay.
so it's not like you're like, oh, well, I just have all this baggage. Like everybody's got baggage, like everybody's got their skeletons in the closet, and everybody's got something that they're afraid to tell somebody
Yeah.
new. You
I
know,
think everybody has a story.
Yeah, yeah.
My kids aren't skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that's what
I
I'm
had
saying.
a guy
like,
tell me, like, he's like, oh, well, you he's like, you should take what you get because you have children and you're middle age. And I was like,
no.
good luck being single forever.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
luck for being single forever.
Yeah.
No,
Well-
I tried getting on the dating sites and
Yeah.
I couldn't wait. I was so excited. I'm like, woo, swipe
Yeah.
left, swipe right. I'm like, because I never got to try it, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like Amazon.com for dick, and this is great.
It
Dick
is. It's
delivery,
fun. Yeah.
So I tried Tinder first,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, this is not age appropriate, but they're sure nice to look at, and and then I got on Bumble, and
Okay.
I was moderately disappointed, and then I got on Hinge, and I'm
Okay.
like, I'm gonna kill myself.
Oh,
this is what,
no.
yeah. I just felt like if these are the algorithms that are matching me, I'm like, obviously, I'm not doing well, so that's why I'm here. I'm like, I need help. I need help. Nobody
Well,
wants this.
Girl, I've been single for 16 years, so nobody wants this either. So I'm right there in your same boat. We'll just paddle our little single canoes forever.
Well, do you have time? I mean, do you have time to date?
Yeah, I've got all the time in the world. Yeah.
So why don't you date?
I do. I try. It's
Okay.
just my career
Business
makes
is
it
hard,
a little
right?
bit
Right?
difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. People have a hard time with the fact that I've had sex with other people, and they can watch that.
Can watch Sylvia have sex with other people.
And you wouldn't want to date anybody else who's in porn.
Oh,
I would. I totally would. And I have. I've tried that. The problem is when you're both actively shooting a lot, it's so hard to get your own personal time because I'm a stickler about testing. I test in between every partner. That's not the standard. The standard is every 2 weeks. But I just like to have a clear mind, and I would like my partner to also test in between each partner when they're with me. So it just becomes a matter of like, if we're trying to have sex, we're just testing constantly. And it's like, like if, how do I get you freshly off of a test and now that you don't have to go to a shoot? And if they're not too tired or if I'm not too tired, like it's a lot. It's trying to like, you only can have one person who you got to run a schedule around
true.
like that,
That makes
you know?
sense.
That's so interesting, though.
Date
to
somebody
think
on the
about it.
crew.
Yeah, but I would date somebody who was like sexually making their money that way. I think my dream person, if I'm being honest, is somebody who will make content with me. Is somebody that's like my partner and that's the only person I shoot with. Or if they wanted to bring other girls in or whatever. Or if they want to bring other guys in, I'm okay with that also. But as long as I'm just shooting with them, that would be my dream.
Good. That's what you should. Okay, we put it out there. 2024. One hot, beautiful, gorgeous man to make content with
a great penis. Yeah.
And, of course. Me too. I want a beautiful man to make content with.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to ask sexually, what are you looking for in a partner? Do you want somebody who's going to be the everyday sex type of person?
I don't know.
No,
okay, so that's the thing. So I do. That's what I wanted to ask you about that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I had just the standard sex every day.
Yeah.
Let's get this done. I want to get.
But
off.
it wasn't like missionary, same kind of sex every day.
Yeah.
Nothing was ever mixed up.
No,
Oh,
it's just like it was just kind of the same thing. And again, he was very into porn, so it wasn't like I was ever enough. And I knew that I wasn't. And the kind of porn he watched was very. I told you was maybe weird or violent or something. Like it was just very degrading. So I'm like, I'm not into this. And the fact that you would choose that over me when I'm live, I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And so it really upset me. And he said that basically he was like, you should go to the doctor because you have something wrong with you. It's not normal that you want to have sex all the time, every day. And like a blowjob in the afternoon is not normal. I said, I think most guys would be
would love
happy to come
that.
home from work and have a blowjob.
Yeah.
And then sex before bed and sex in the morning. I'm like, and then
that's a dream scenario for most people. Yeah.
I would think so, but then he made me feel like, well, maybe it's because it was me. So then I, gained weight and it was just really hard on my ego because I'm like, I know he loves me, right? He loves me.
But why doesn't he want to have sex with me?
So it's very like now common day, like gaslighting, right? He would just kind of keep me in my place. And I realized it wasn't just the sex he used against me. It was friendships too. So I would meet people easily, as you know. It's really easy for me to meet people. And then when I try to get close to somebody, like, okay, if I was married, I met this new friend and stand up, I want to hang out, and he'd get jealous, So there'd be something, and I didn't realize. I'm like, how is my husband jealous? It's weird, right, to think. But he would start like picking holes in it. Oh, she only calls you this and that, or this and that, and I'm like. And I have a really fucked up relationship with my mom. So I felt like...
Don't we all? I'm just kidding.
Don't we all?
So, it was kind of like he kind of used that like, oh, well, she's acting like your mom. Or she's... So it would immediately make me just step back and kind of distance myself from people. And I'd meet people I never had problems meeting people or making friends, but he just kind of kept me to himself.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this until, it was over.
Yeah, that's super unhealthy to like
only be with him.
Yeah,
only be with him. I used to love going to live music. I used to love listening to music, going to concerts. And he would literally turn off my music in the morning. And like I'd be cleaning.
Are you trying to kill my sadness or my happiness?
Right.
Absolutely not.
Isn't that crazy? Like even my ex who talks to you, who he loves you, he was like, he's like, oh my God, the Smashing Pumpkins, the Beatles, Pink Floyd. He's like, that all reminds me of you. And I'm like, my ex like wouldn't let me listen. So he's listening to house music, but he put it on his headphones. And I'm like, I can't even listen to house music with you. We can't even like dance together. Like, Chicago's like all house music. Like what? It's terrible.
Hindsight.
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20, and you got out, But that you just mentioned, you love music and concerts and stuff like that. That's what you need to be doing. You need to you need to be doing the things that make you happy and meet somebody in those settings. You know?
I feel like but I'm older now to go to concerts and stuff like that.
I know. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Do you like going to concerts? Okay,
I'll go to a concert with you. Absolutely.
Okay.
I love going to a concert.
Okay.
Too old, girl. I just saw Alanis Morissette in concert recently.
Did?
Oh, it was so fun at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh my God. Oh, and I love the Hollywood Bowl.
You know what it was? All 40 and 50-year-old women singing their hearts out.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you are not too old.
Okay,
and
cheers.
you can buy a bottle of wine
concert?
to take to your seat.
Yes, you
which
can.
Is great.
What is it? One.
You can buy a bottle of wine to take to your seat.
You absolutely
Cheers.
can.
We're going to concerts.
Yeah, I'm totally down. We're gonna
24.
I got the
We're going to
poster
count
too.
Cheers.
Yes, I'm coming.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, yep.
We're gonna find you a partner who wants to do the things that you want to do.
Okay, that sounds good.
All
And
right.
I don't want to get married either. I don't.
Same girl, same. I don't want to be married.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, I don't.
No,
I've done that. Like, I'm good. I'm independent. I don't.
I'm down for a common law. It's like, let's just stay together and be happy. Can we do
Yeah.
that? Because I don't want
Two
to go
separate
through
homes.
a lawyer when I want to break up with you.
Okay. Okay. So I got to tell you. Okay.
That's what
So here's the
prenups
biggest
are
thing. If I
for.
can share this with your listeners, I'm going to share this with people, and it may offend them or may get upset by this. But after going through a horrible divorce for 2 years, anybody who's thinking about getting married, I'm saying this directly to the camera.
Yeah.
Get a prenup.
Yeah.
And I know that upsets people. Oh, I believe in love. I believe in love too. But I'm telling you, the lawyers believe in money.
Yeah.
And they do not care about your feelings or your children's feelings. They will do what they can to take every last dime from you. And they don't care about the kid in the backseat. So the reason why I say that is like we get insurance in case we get into a car accident. We get this. So if you're married and you believe in love, this shit's already done.
Yeah.
If you're not together, then it's done. The attorneys don't get
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
The attorneys, their job is not to end shit. It's to make it go on and on and on and on and on.
And if you love each other,
It shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
you should be able to say, I don't want to take this from you
Yes.
when we break up.
Yes.
So that's why you get the prenup.
Yes.
Then it's no big deal.
100% agree.
Yep. It's no big deal. And
Yeah.
then you know if you have a family, it's done.
Yeah.
So you get the money. They get the money. It's done.
Yeah.
So my recommendation.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. Do not get married. If you do, sign yourself a prenup. And if you want to date Susie, let me know, and I'm gonna pass her along your number. And in the meantime, we'll just go out and do some fun things that are definitely gonna get both of us laid. I need to get laid also. Let's do this.
Lots of sex. Let's have lots of sex.
All right, guys. That is it for this episode. Susie, do you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Oh, sure. You can find me at Susie_sitcom on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, YouTube. I perform all over the Los Angeles area. I perform with Sylvia.
Yes.
We perform stand-up comedy with our clothes on.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll do it with our clothes off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not there yet, but you know. Please come and support comedy and support Sylvia because, you know, it's great.
We're out there in them streets.
Yeah, and following your dreams,
Yeah.
right?
That's
do
so
what's
true.
good for you. So we're doing what we love to do.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
All right, guys. Until next time. Adios.
Thank you. Bye.